Today I was talking to someone about childhood trauma and saying that if we don't work on our childhood trauma, it will show up later on in life. There's going to be the perfect storm, a trigger or something that comes up, and the trauma is going to rear its ugly head. It's coming up and coming out. Why do I say that? Because it reminded me of an incident that I had. I was in Denver with another therapist friend, and we were in the airport, and I was on the phone. I was talking to one of my friends, helping her through just counseling over the phone. And so my friend had to go to the bathroom, and we were sitting there in the airport, and I was letting people around me know that the seat was taken next to me, that was her seat. And a young couple, motioned to sit there. And I said, no, the seat is taken. And then there was someone else that came up, an older gentleman that came up to sit down. And I said, I was on the phone, like, that seat is taken. So he sits down anyway. I got so angry. So angry. I was as passive aggressive as I could be in that moment. So he sits down next to me. And you know how the armrest kind of divides the chairs. And so I put my arm on there. And it was just like I was just boiling red inside, just steaming, daring him to even touch my arm. I was going to lose it. And I knew that. I just had this sudden burst of explosive anger. And I didn't know why. I was so angry in that moment. And even talking about it now, it's like, wow, I have healed because it's not even upsetting me now. That's how you know you've been healed from a trauma. But I was so angry in that moment. And I was like, I'm a trauma therapist. Why am I experiencing this kind of rage at this person that I don't even know? And then my therapist friend helped me connect the dots. Something about that man reminded me of a man or the man or one of the men who violated me as a child. That's why I became so angry. And think about it, as a child, your trauma response, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, people pleasing. So you're helpless, you really can't do much. But as an adult, the adult me, oh, I'm going to fight you. You're not going to do that to me again. And so that was me acting that out. Like daring him to move, breathe my way, breathe on me. That was a really valuable lesson to me, because if it can happen to me and I was triggered, do you realize in that moment, me just going back to the experience in childhood when I was defenseless, and now you better not touch me. Now I'm going to fight with the adult me to protect the child part of me. Do you realize how dangerous that could have been? Former news anchor has a meltdown in the airport and assaults an elderly man. I mean, yeah. So that was really a wake-up call to me. I don't know if that was when I either got a therapist or I got a trauma therapist, someone to help me process the trauma that I pay. I pay for therapy sessions. with a therapist. That's why I'm telling you all why it's so important to get therapy. You don't know when you're going to be triggered by something. And you can think, oh, well, I'm better and nothing like that has come up. But out of nowhere, there could be factors in the environment that trigger that trauma response. And think about, how hard you worked for your career, your family, all of these things could be gone like that because of a trigger in trauma. I thank God that I did not go off on that man. So, the lesson here, get therapy, because the triggers are there and it can affect you. It can have a long-term effect if you don't get the help.